Hey everybody, I'm Brett, and this is my son.
Hey, I'm Jack.
We're going to be bringing you videos about overhauls, restorations. Basically, if it's got a motor at some point, we're going to work on it or at least talk about it. I'm the buyer, the seller, shade tree mechanic.
I'm everything but the mechanic. I do the fun stuff like shoot the video and edit.
So, that about covers it. We hope you enjoy this video of the family wrench.
Okay, we're done.
Hey everybody, welcome back to part 2 of the weekend 22R motor swap. We're getting ready to install the rear mainsail. We got the assembly lube so that we can get that installed now. We will finish buttoning up the oil pan. I didn't want to put it all the way on because of the rear mainsail. We'll get the engine mounts on and hopefully we'll be ready to drop this in. Then get everything buttoned up with the starter, the header, the wiring. I'm kind of getting a late start. We went to church and then when we got home we didn't have power. So we'll see what we can get done and stay tuned. We're going to start working on the rear mainsail.
Like a Hellcat.
I'm not a fan of a lot of gasket maker. Some people like to use what seems like a ridiculous amount to me every time they do any kind of project. I'm not one of those people. I like to use as little as it takes to actually get the job done. So I apply very small layers.
Like a Hellcat.
So I hate doing anything twice, but I definitely hate having leaks. And I noticed the old gasket had no RTV at the joints where the timing cover and the rear main meet. So I'm going to pull the oil pan off. I'm going to check the pickup tube torque spec and make sure it's good. We're reapplying this because we squashed it out once already. Oh, it's starting to get hot in here. My little heater's working good for how cold it is. So we redid that because we wanted to make sure where the rear main carrier, rear main seal support carrier, I don't know what you call it, I can't think of the name right now, mounts up against the block, there's a crack. We wanted to get that there and we wanted to get it on the timing cover. Other than that, I believe that's all I'm really worried about. If it leaks, we can pull the pan off later, add more gasket to it. Okay, this engine needs to come down at some point because we've got to get this one on the hook so I can finish buttoning up the oil pan. I've got it tightened up enough around the gasket material where it's going to be okay where it dries right there. It's torqued down close enough. I'm not worried about it doing anything crazy when I come back and tighten the side bolts up later. I'm trying to think what I can set this on. I don't have another like bad tire. I've got tires here, but they're all good tires. So we're gonna have to step outside and see what we can find to set this on. It may just end up being some wood blocks. So until we figure that out, you won't see me for a minute. Well, you guys missed this whole bit. It was kind of sketchy. I was hoping you caught it. I'm new to this, guys. I'm sorry. Bear with me. That's the motor out of the truck. We got it off the hook. We got the new motor on the hook. We tore down all the oil pan bolts correctly now. They're all in there. We are going to put the flywheel on. We're going to torque it down to 80 foot-pounds is what I read online. I don't know torque specs by mind, guys, so I do have to look them up by memory, by mind. 80 foot-pounds. I'm going to use a little bit of Loctite, probably blue. Red would probably be impossible for anybody else to get them off without a torch in the future. That's where we're headed next. All right, stay tuned.
Feel me like a Hellcat.
Completely had a brain fart there, guys, and I was just going to town on those pressure plate bolts. We need to torque those down. Like I said, had a brain fart. We were just going to town on those bolts, and we didn't Loctite them. So, take them out one at a time since they're torqued down, put some Loctite on them, and be done with this part of the project. Okay, flywheel bolts are torqued down to 15 foot-pounds. Does not seem like much. It's what the FSM says to do. Red Loctited, since that is not very much torque in my mind. Another tech tip. Unless you have a split beam, this is a split beam torque wrench. Flip it open, releases the pressure on something inside. I'm not sure what it is. You set it to where you want to, locks it back in place. I don't know how they work, but I do know these you can leave on whatever torque setting you need. It's not going to hurt them. If you have a dial, mechanical dial torque wrench, you have to set it back to the recommended setting so that the springs or whatever in it do not get weak. This one is 20 pounds. 20 inch-pounds, which is the lowest setting. That is where the factory wants me to store it. That's where I'll store it. It will stay calibrated longer, serve you better. Take care of your tools. I started out wearing gloves today. As you can see, they didn't hold up. Okay, I think next, motor mounts. We're getting close. Okay, flywheel bolts are torqued down to 15 foot-pounds. Does not seem like much. It's what the FSM says to do. Red Loctited, since that is not very much torque in my mind. Another tech tip. Unless you have a split beam, this is a split beam torque wrench. Flip it open, releases the pressure on something inside. I'm not sure what it is. You set it to where you want to, locks it back in place. I don't know how they work, but I do know these you can leave on whatever torque setting you need. It's not going to hurt them. if you have a dial, mechanical dial torque wrench, you have to set it back to the recommended setting so that the springs or whatever in it do not get weak. This one is 20 pounds, 20 inch-pounds, which is the lowest setting. That is where the factory wants me to store it. That's where I'll store it. It will stay calibrated longer, serve you better. Take care of your tools. Can you see these? Will it focus? Okay, these things are the spark plugs that was in it. They're not the best looking plugs ever. So yeah, these are the plugs that just come out of the motor that is supposed to be rebuilt. I mean, the electrode on them isn't that bad, but they've just got this corrosion. Obviously the motor hasn't been ran. They might be okay, but we're gonna get some new plugs anyways. It'd be nice if I had some of these here. BPR5ES. Let's see. Okay guys, I had some plugs. I read somewhere that a BKR5ES is what you need. I've got a BKRE11. The only thing I can find is that this is a 3/4 inch plug. I think it's 3/4, might be 5/8. No, I was wrong, 5/8. It's a 5/8 diameter plug for the socket size that goes on it, versus the other one was a 21 millimeter. I need to do some more research and find out if that is going to cause me any problems. The thread pitch is the same. And the length of extrusion is the same. So I don't think I'm going to have any problems from that. So we're going to rock and roll with that. I think we got it. I think it'll work. Is it right? No. Will it work? Yes. Will it work for probably a long time? Yes. It's a Toyota. I honestly think a rethreaded hole in the head isn't the end of the world. Again, is it correct? No. Did it get us through? We'll see. We don't know yet. I think it did. Oh, my knee hurts. Earlier when I was like, the camera may not have been on, but earlier I was like, let's check these old spark plugs in this motor. They look kind of bad. So that led us down this whole road, which set us back an hour and a half, but that's always the way these projects go. Okay, we're really close to having this motor ready to drop in. I don't even know if my phone's still on. I'm gonna go inside and do a little research on, God, my finger's still split open, what I think might be something I can desmog, and if it is, I'm not sure if this is some kind of, the old one's pinched off. I think it may be some kind of like smog regulation crap. If that don't have to be on there, if that can come off, it's going to come off. It is hooked up on my other one, so it may need to be on there. I don't know at this point, but this one, this hose would go right here. It's pinched off, so I want to go in and do some research on that and see what I can figure out. Man, there's just some janky stuff going on in this motor. It looks like there's JB Weld on top of that. I may reuse this whole manifold. Anyways, I'll let you know what happens. Okay, so we figured out what this is part of the actual heating system that comes off the water pump. this was going in a race car, so they probably blocked it off. What we're going to do is pull the one off the old motor, put it into this intake, use a little Teflon tape. I don't have any pipe dope. That's what I was sitting here thinking about. Probably going to use a little Teflon tape, put that in, connect this heater hose like this one is, and go from there.
Like a hell.
That fell. Something, most people probably know this, just in case you don't. You always want to go against the threads with Teflon tape. The reason for that is when you're screwing it in, if you go with the threads, it'll basically try to unravel as you're threading it into whatever you're threading it into. If you go against the threads, it traps itself, makes everything tighter as you thread it into whatever you're threading it into. So we went against the threads. We're going to get a good amount on here because we don't want any coolant leaks. Okay guys, we are done for the night. We didn't get it done in a weekend. I wanted to. We were close. I stopped probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. I don't think you saw the end of the last video on my phone. I was using it to film. It was full of memory. What happened was this motor was set up for an electric fuel pump. Ours was set up for a manual fuel pump. We don't have an electric on the truck, so we set it up for a manual, or I was trying to set it up to run the manual. There's a cam gear inside here that goes into the timing chain, right behind the timing chain gear. And this doesn't have one set up to run the arm, I got fuel in here, to run the arm for the mechanical fuel pump. This pushes in. It's got a lobe on it as it spins on the cam from the timing chain. It pushes on the mechanical fuel pump, and that in turn pumps fuel. This doesn't have a lobe on the cam, so we're gonna have to either swap heads, which I've thought about doing since you know I ran into trouble with this head on the number 4 spark plug back there. We may swap heads. We may pull the valve cover and see about taking off the timing chain and getting a cam gear on this. I'm really maybe leaning towards just swapping heads at this point. I'll have to get a head gasket for it. But I think this is obviously a better head. We know we've already had problems with this head with the number 4 being cross-threaded. I don't know if you guys seen that on the footage. I haven't been in to edit it yet or not. We do need a motor mount for the other side. It is broken. This is a one-piece rubber bushing motor mount. The one on the other side has come, you can see this one has flex. The rubber bushing allows it to move, and that cuts down on vibration. The one on the other side is broken. The rubbers actually come separated from the top part of the motor mount. That's not a big deal. I mean, a motor mount may run us 15, 20 bucks. It may even be like $8 or $9. We don't know. I think that's really where we're at this point. I just wanted to give you guys an update. Tomorrow I've got work, so I'm going to do some research during the day. Hopefully I can figure some stuff out on my lunch break, whatever. See what I need to do, but I wanted to get video number 2 done because Jack doesn't have school on Mondays. So while I'm at work, Jack can be editing this video and getting it ready for you guys to upload. Hopefully by the time you're seeing this, you've already watched video number 1. We got it finished up tonight and it should be uploading right now. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate it, and stay tuned if you want to see it actually go in the truck and run. Alright, see you guys later.